So, that's where underground printing is now. But as we've gotten bigger, I've really tried. What I really loved about entrepreneurship was, starting a company. I really love the startup. And the cool thing about shirts is everybody needs shirts. And so, around town and throughout, like with some of our customers, I became known, to go to for shirts. And I got to learn about a lot of businesses. And as I kind of learned more about businesses, I got involved in a lot more businesses. And I was able to start to kind of continue on with my passion, which was startups and small businesses, by founding more companies with other local entrepreneurs or investing in companies later on. So this is just kind of like a potpourri of companies that I've started or invested on top of underground printing, invested in on top of underground printing. And it's been kind of a cool way for me to stay grounded in the startup and then learn a lot of things to come back to underground and moving forward. So I thought I'd go through a few of them and just tell you kind of a little bit of what I've been up to. So local businesses, part of underground printing is about being part of the community, and we feel passionately about that. So I've actually, when I was really young, became friends with the guys that started Big Ten Burrito, BTB Burrito now, Good Time Charlie's. They're good friends of mine now to this day, and invested in them and helped them. And we started a party bus company, pre-Uber, the Uber before Uber, BTB Party Bus, which none of you probably know about because it's been a few years, but it was a lot of fun. It's $2 rides around Ann Arbor, and I was actually giving a talk at the B school once, and one of the students raised their hand and was talking about how they got back to Ann Arbor after like 2 years gone and tried to call the party bus to come pick it up. It was like a very popular thing. So that was like very exciting for me, but it's hard running a cab company, so I give props to Uber for what they did. Another kind of cool thing that we did 5 years ago is we bought Moe's Sports Shops. So Moe's Sports Shops has been around for 100 years, and it's actually the birthplace of collegiate apparel. And we're celebrating it this year, and it's been kind of a cool thing to kind of take over a brand and learn about taking over a brand that's been through 5 generations of owners, has literally been there through time, through 100 years, and trying to refresh it for the new millennia. So that's kind of been kind of a cool project or an interesting project for us. And also, how do you grow 2 brands at the same time that are in the same space has been a difficult one for us. Recently, we started a minor league soccer team called AFC Ann Arbor. In Ann Arbor, it's 4th tier. We just joined the NPSL. Actually, we just moved up, and that's been a lot of fun as well. So I have kind of dug back in and started. That was as recently as this year to restart a company just because I love it so much. Just by virtue of underground printing, I've gotten to know a lot more about apparel and retail, and invested in the men's retail, men's apparel lineup. A couple of the companies I invested in. This one on the right is a company called Today Clothing. It's on 4th Street. I helped start it with my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law, who before I met his sister, before I got married, was a chemical engineer in my class at Michigan. We were the only 2 people that did not go into engineering or become a doctor. And he went on to work at Brooklyn Industries, Kangol, become the head designer at WeSE, and then moved back to Ann Arbor where we started this retail company. So another engineer kind of doing, traveling the path, going the path less traveled, sorry. And then this company on the right, Stock Manufacturing, is a vertically integrated men's clothing company. They make all their own shirts and sell all their own shirts in Chicago and online. And that's been a real big passion of mine, is trying to vertically integrate our business at Underground Printing. We have to buy the shirts blank, and we do everything else in-house. I'd love to be able to make the shirts one day. And so I've been investing and learning about businesses where they're actually making the garments themselves. And this is one of those ideas. And we've gotten involved in some tech startups too. Some of you might recognize, like Wisely or Celio or FlockTag around town. And then the one at the top, Topstitch Labs, was founded by a former Michigan engineer, a good friend of mine from when we were in school, who moved out to the Bay Area. And they're doing very well as well. So Michigan engineering has come through my life. And even though I have not been an engineer, I've been associating with former Michigan engineers that have gone on to different things. So I was an engineer because my dad was an engineer, and I, like a good studious son, went and worked in my dad's lab. I wanted to work at Little Caesars with all my friends. He said I had to work in his lab because it was more educational, something like that. I don't know.